Hey, can you spare 7 or 8 minutes to explore the question, why should you choose to be a follower of God? Why? Why choose him? I think I have some really important information to share with you. I'm Cary. This is the Growing in the Gospel YouTube channel. I am nothing more than a growing follower of Jesus Christ who loves God's word, loves his truth, loves his people, and this is the overflow of my teaching ministry at my church, and we do this every day. We are slow walking right now through the Psalms, and then throughout the week releasing longer form teaching. Right now, the big picture, understanding the Bible from the overarching narrative. But right now today, we're in Psalm 86, and if you have a Bible, I want to encourage you to turn there with me because we're turning a corner. We've studied the first 7 verses of the Psalm, David's appeal to God on the basis of mercy, explaining that he's trusting God and that he's coming weak and needy and that he's lifting up his soul and he's asking God to give ear to his prayer. We've covered all these things. And so now there's a new paragraph. So there's a turn in the sense of David's prayer and what he's praying. He's just said, I know in my trouble, when I call on you, you're going to answer me. What an amazing confidence. We talked all about that in our last time together. So now I want to read to you verses 8, 9, and 10. 3 verses, quickly. Among the gods, there is none like unto thee, O Lord. Neither are there any works like unto thy works. All nations whom thou hast made shall come and worship before thee, O Lord, and shall glorify thy name. For thou art great and doest wondrous things, for thou art God alone. So David here, it's a little bit like when he's talking in verse 5, for you're good and you're ready to forgive and you're plenteous in mercy. He is doing more than buttering God up, okay? God is a father, but he's not like an earthly father that can be manipulated, okay, by just saying things you don't really mean. It's not that human in its sense. It is much more beautiful and much bigger and much grander in this sense. David is exalting and extolling God. He is declaring the truth about who God is. And he's doing this in a poem and in a song in written form. And he's kind of preaching to himself. And so here's the thing. Among the gods, there's none like unto thee. So why should you choose God now, unequivocally, forever, follow him, trust him, fall before him, and in every way embrace him? Well, number one, because he's the best, okay? Of all your God options, he's the best. So let's break down the idea, the concept of God for a minute, because everybody has a God. Everybody has a God. You say, well, I'm not religious or I'm not supernatural. You have a God because God, in its most basic sense, is what is ultimate. Okay. Whatever is ultimate in your life, that thing is God. Okay. Whatever you place your hope in, whatever you are relying upon, trusting in, whatever you are looking to for strength, provision, protection, safety, hope, future, meaning, significance, whatever you turn to and whatever you see as the ultimate solution for your trouble, for the world's troubles, that thing is God to you. So yeah, everybody has a God. You can't live without a God. There is no such thing as a life without a God. You say, well, I don't believe in God. Well, then you've made yourself God because you are unilaterally declaring comprehensive authority over the entire universe that you know there is no God, and so you answer ultimately to yourself. If you believe there's no God, but government is the answer, for instance, your political party, your next candidate, your plans, your ideals, that somehow if we could just get these things into place, it would fix humanity, it would fix you, it would be the answer, then government is God and politics are God. If you give your life, you think of it this way, God is what you ultimately give your life to. And a lot of people, that's their business. A lot of people, that's their investments or their bank accounts or their net worth. A lot of people, that's a relationship. Whatever is supreme, whatever is utmost, whatever is that thing that you've given your life to, that you've sworn your allegiance to, that you're living for, that you're seeking in the most fulfillment, the most gratification, and ultimate meaning and significance, that thing is God. Okay, so among the gods, among your God options, since you have to have one, since you have one right now, there's none like unto thee, O Lord. Here's what David has discovered. Every other god is a sham. Every other god will let you down. Every other god will demand that you give everything to it, and then it will ultimately leave you falling flat on your face. Every other god will be lost. Every other god will require you to bow before it, but then it will not fulfill you. It will not sustain you. It will not ultimately save you. Think about all the things I just talked about. And here's the reality of all those things. They're all losable. They're all breakable. They're all fragile. I've been praying a lot for the people in Maui who lost homes and businesses and really livelihoods and frankly, their lives and loved ones. And the devastation there and the heartbreak and the contrast that for us Americans and for those of us who understand Hawaii, that's paradise. And paradise in a fraction of a second became an apocalypse. And, you'd think, well, real estate on Maui, goodness, that's only going to go up. What an investment, the weather, the beauty, this is where we go to vacation, right? This is Americans' idea of paradise. And now it is, for all practical purposes, it's a war zone. And how quickly that thing completely went away. Now we'll rebuild. I know. But I'm just saying that anything you give your life to, this side of the Most High God, is fragile, losable, breakable. And it will still require that you give everything. You spend your whole life, you pour your whole life into it, and you will lose it. Here's the problem. It's not that these things are bad or wicked or intrinsically evil. Not at all. No, not at all. Your business is good. Your marriage is good. Your relationships, if they honor the Lord, they're good. Possessions, success, material things. These are blessings. These are gifts. Here's the thing. They're gifts. They're not gods. But we elevate them to the place of God, and then they let us down. And in the end, we end up saying, oh my God. And we want a higher God. We want a bigger God. We need a greater God. So David just comes right out and he says, you know what? He's the best. God's the best. And then he says, so number one reason you should choose God right now and never look back is that he's just the best, okay? Of all your God options, he'll never let you down. And he gave everything for you. He doesn't require you to give everything to him. In the first position, he gave everything to you, which when you see that, you just want to give everything to him because that's the safest place for it. Because he's a God you will never lose. He can never lose you. He'll never let you down. He'll never drop you on your face. He will always come through for you. He will always see you through. He will always provide for you. He secures you out of the goodness and generosity of the lavish love of his heart. He is excellent in every way. But I got to hurry. I'm losing time. All nations whom thou hast made shall come and worship before thee. Second reason you should choose God is because everyone's going to bow to him in the end anyway. Okay? All the other gods are going to fail and be lost, and you will ultimately stand before the feet of Jesus, and you will be bowing and worshiping and declaring, every knee shall bow. Okay. So that's verse 9. All the nations whom thou hast made. He's made them. They will all come and worship before thee, O Lord. And by the way, that's a beautiful prophetic promise. Maybe we'll talk about it tomorrow. And shall glorify thy name. Verse 10. For thou art great and doest wondrous things. Thou art God alone. Reason number 3 is he's great and does amazing things. This God can do things that your other gods could never, ever do. He can do amazing works. He can work all things together for good. He can take the worst situations that are unfolding in your life and redeem them and turn them into wonderful, fruitful outcomes. He can bring flourishing in your life out of the most tragic of situations. He can make you durable and resilient in this life. He is that great. The things he does are that wonderful. And the fourth reason is because he is capital G God alone. So factually, truthfully, there is no other God. Everything else is a temporary construct of our own imaginations. There is no other God but the true God. And we've already seen that he's ready to be trusted. He's lavish in mercy. He's good to all those that call upon him. He's waiting for us to lift up our soul and to cry out to him, and he will answer us. I love David has like a little party between verses 8 and the end of verse 10. It's like he just gets out of verse 7 about God answering him and then just like does a dance of how awesome God is and how thankful he is to belong to the true God. So my friend, yes, you should choose God now. He made himself visible and accessible through the person of Jesus. He died on the cross for you and rose again, and he will come into your life the moment you invite him. So if you've never invited him, do it now. And if you have trusted him as Savior, then my friend, don't elevate the gifts of God to divinity or to godhood in your life. No, you keep those properly ordered in your life. You make Jesus King. You trust him because there's nobody like him. He'll never let you down. That is Growing in the Gospel for today. I hope you'll share or like this video. Prayerfully send it to someone you care about. Subscribe if you haven't hit that subscribe button. And have a great day. I'm praying for you, and I'll see you tomorrow.